ranking every Batwoman comic until the new one comes out, and in dead last place, it should come as no surprise that it's Marc Andreyko's late New 52 run. What were they thinking? Now, I really don't envy this creative team for having to take over the Batwoman comic after such a major controversy. For those who don't remember, the original writers W. Hayden Blackman and J.H. Williams III were infamously kicked off the book midway through their run, all because they wanted Kate to marry her girlfriend, Detective Maggie Sawyer, and the DC higher-ups were not a fan of that idea. Now, they claimed at the time that this was purely because superheroes shouldn't have happy personal lives, and of course, the New 52 era was famed for being something of an edgelord phase for the DC universe. Nevertheless, it is difficult to believe that there wasn't a shred of anti-LGBT prejudice going on here, even if it was on an unconscious level. So Andreyko was brought in basically to enact the highly unpopular editorial mandate of breaking up Kate and Maggie, which he did, much like a sledgehammer to a stained glass window. That was obviously sad and somewhat despicable given how DC continues to parade Kate Kane around every Pride Month like it's a character that they've always done right by. But revisiting this run recently, I was really curious to see if it would read any better about a decade or so removed from the initial controversy. Now that the stinging sensation has stopped, maybe there is something to like here. No. It's so bad. After tying up all the loose ends of the previous run in like the space of an issue, it's literally like the meme of the horse drawing. We get a really cringe and predictable cat burglar plot followed by a weird vampire romance, and then suddenly a demon knight storyline which really comes out of nowhere and is not a good read. Kate Kane herself also becomes really just another quippy vigilante. She really loses a lot of her identity, and to make matters worse, a comic that was defined by its breathtaking art when it began devolves into one of the ugliest that I've ever read. I mean, the artwork towards the end of this run is really hard to look at. It's a real shame that DC editorial decided to kill what had been, at the time, a real breakout hit for them over such a silly disagreement with the original writers. Now, the comic did limp on for a year or so after this, but eventually DC shot it in the back of the head. And frankly, it was a mercy killing. Batwoman eventually got another solo run years later, and we'll get onto that next time.